All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of We Them Niggas. We're out here at ETH Denver. Shout out to FWB for sponsoring us and the community for voting to pass out our proposal to fund us to come out here and highlight some of the Black people of color in Web3, paving the way. Black History Month has just closed, and I'm excited to honor the legacy of people building in this space. Shout out to Leo for you being here, an artist, an entrepreneur, innovating on the cutting edge. How's your ETH Denver been, man?
Yeah, it's been great. So we submitted to the build-a-thon, so it's really been head down building for most hours of the days. But we submitted yesterday and we went through judging today, so I am fully done with the build-a-thon and I can focus on partying and having fun.
Oh yeah, and what was your project for the build-a-thon? For people that don't know, can you also explain what the build-a-thon is?
Yeah. So ETH Denver is based around this builder competition. It's a hackathon. Where there's a bunch of sponsors who put up bounties. So someone like Coinbase may put up $10,000 and say, if you implement our app into whatever you're building, then you can get this bounty. And there's also the main tracks where ETH Denver themselves will fund the best projects within certain categories. So yeah, we worked on a artist or a collector aggregator app that kind of just lists all of the collectors that an artist has for their NFT project, and shows them how to track these collectors, how to engage with them further. You can export your data to Farcaster and XMTP using frames. So yeah, that's kind of what we built.
Very cool. And being an artist, what do you think is most exciting about that kind of product?
So the problem, we did like a lot of like user research for this platform, and the problem we found is that artists in Web3 really have trouble tracking all of their collectors in one place. There's a lot of disparate apps and platforms that you can use, but there's not really one clean client that shows you who's collecting your stuff and allows you to easily share that data to other platforms. So that's what we tried to build.
There's like Bello, right? That's one that's
Bello,
kind of oriented towards that. What do you think are some of the shortcomings of apps like Bello that make what you're trying to build like practical and worthwhile?
Bello's an awesome platform. I saw Levi today, but I think just the subscription cost can be a barrier to some. So we wanted to build a free option for people to be able to use, anyone in the ecosystem to be able to use. Also, I think the integration with frames makes it kind of engaging, so that it's not just the collectors seeing their own data, but it's you're able to engage with your fans. Send your fan a frame and say, hey, you're number 5 on my collectors list. That can incentivize them to maybe buy more NFTs. You can share it on Warpcast and incentivize people to come join in your community and climb that leaderboard. So that's what we focused on.
That's super cool. And I think it's, something that I really love about the Web3 space is that I feel like the creatives I meet here, their hustle is on like 1,000 all the time. It's like, if you had the hustle to get into Web3, do the learning curve, and you're still making music, like, then you are a creator through and through because you're creating your path every day. And I think it's super cool to hear, like, you're doing the hackathon. I feel like a lot of creatives will be like, that's not really my lane, but I think it's cool to see you expanding, I guess, just what your skill set is. And I'm curious, like, coming into Web3, what was your background, and what has your journey been like in Web3? What communities have played a role in that?
Yeah, so in Web3, when I first came in, it was a while ago, it was the end of 2020. Didn't have too many hard skills. I've been in music since 2018. I've been a songwriter. But that was really about it. It was songwriting, and I always had a creative vision. I did go to school in 2020, 2021 for graphic design, and that's really where I started to pick up some hard skills, whether it be Illustrator, Photoshop. Well, Photoshop was more DIY, but yeah. And then kind of just as my music career began to pick up, I just picked up skills like Premiere Pro, a little bit of After Effects, like just kind of here and there. But in Web3, I've really been able to apply my knowledge in a DIY way and like really like contribute to products. My first contribution was the Loser Club mixtape. We released a mixtape that is like a interactive player that kind of works on chain, and I designed the UX of that player.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I designed the UX of that. So that was really my first like foray into this UX like product design side, and now I'm really trying to go hard. Me and Girl Crash are working on an app right now, and kind of serendipitous that like right when I started like really diving into the UX side on Figma, the ETH Denver came up, and I decided to submit as a UX builder for the hackathon. So yeah.
Hell yeah, I think that's super dope. Yeah. Your song NFT NYC on the Loser Club project with Girl Crash was my favorite song on that project. It's on my We Them Niggas playlist, just so you know. So it comes on when I put it on shuffle, and it's always a vibe when it does. 'Cause I think it's cool, like hearing like Girl talk about, hey, I think I found another way on the blockchain.
Yeah.
I think it's like I think like for me that's so compelling. That's what this is. It's
Yeah.
like what even is this world to most people? And I want to help them see that there are new ways. And so so you got started. You said back towards the end of 2020, and you say Loser Club was your kind of entry into like this UX space. What's like a core memory for you since 2020, kind of leading to where you are now?
There's been a lot. I think just what sticks out instantly is me and Girl performing at the opening ceremony for NFT NYC. That was like the most full circle moment. We wrote that song before we'd even ever attended NFT NYC. I think Girl had gone to ETH Denver, but it was just kind of like a manifestation. Like we're gonna be all over the world. We're gonna be all over the blockchain. And we ended up performing that song at Basel, NFT LA, and NFT NYC, which are all the places that are referenced in that music.
Yeah.
And the last one was the NFT NYC opening ceremony, and it was just like fulfilling the prophecy that we wrote into the music. It was crazy.
No, that is hella crazy. And so you hadn't even been to NFT NYC, you made that song. But you just knew what the vibes were. You said, this is how we're doing it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And how did you and Girl first get connected?
So we're both from Cincinnati, so I've known Girl from the music scene past like 5 or 6 years. I think she got into Web3 after seeing me doing a metaverse performance in Decentraland. So that was kind of her foray. And since then, we've really gotten a lot closer. We collaborate a lot closer since we both have this shared focus in Web3.
That makes a lot of sense. And this year, I guess, what's most exciting to you? Like, what's on the horizon for you? I know, congrats on the Boys Club Creator Grant. We both just got that recently, which was announced. So big thanks for that. We them niggas, we out here, and we're things are happening for us, and I think that's exciting. What does the rest of 2024 look like for you?
I like God's plan. Whatever God has for me is what I'm doing. But things I think I'm going to be doing, I definitely am planning on going to South by. Definitely planning on going to MTNYC, talking about a little activation, talking to some brand sponsorships. Girl and I are working on an immersive. Cincinnati has a big festival called Blink. It's a light projection festival. Draws 2 million people a year.
Wow.
Biggest light projection show in the world. We're submitting to create an immersive kind of experience at Blink this year. So that's on the horizon.
That's exciting. And when is that? What month is that?
October.
Okay. So you got some time.
Yeah, and then a lot of music. Got a lot of music dropping. So, yeah.
Very cool. And what advice do you have for musicians that are interested in Web3 space? That's really like kind of where I started this podcast was like knowing I'm a rapper myself. I want to work with producers, other artists, and kind of help them learn about not just this space, but also help myself build more relationships so we can kind of look more at what are the problems artists are facing. Like I'm in the crypto space thinking about even like what are startups that could resolve issues artists are actually facing day to day. How can Web3 disrupt the traditional music ecosystem? These are the questions I'm asking, and I'm curious what advice do you have to the artists that might be looking at you and taking notes?
I would say the Web3 music industry is a lot different than Web2. The way to enter into Web3 is to find how you can contribute to the space. I think we're so used to figuring out how we can extract value because it's so hard to make money in music and like the regular industry. But with Web3, the best way to find your fit is to find who needs me, where can I contribute, and to just go that route. And that's when you'll start seeing like income and whatever side benefits come with that. So that's the advice I'll give.
No, I appreciate that, and I think like that's really been a big part of the last few months for me, honestly. Like I got a patron like back in like September. Shout out to him. And I think that's made a huge difference in just me being able to think critically about like what is my role in Web3. Like I'm like I need money. And I think like when that's all you need, it's really challenging to think about like what way can I actually add value to the space. Like if I don't have hard skills, it's like what even should I be doing? But realizing that media is what I'm excited about, the artists that are here is what I'm excited about, and making sure that the stories of people like yourselves are getting told, like yourself are being told, and that people outside this space can see you and know who you are, I think is so important, So I really appreciate you doing this interview. I appreciate you being a pioneer in this space, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the year unfolds for you, and excited to do more content with you, excited to see what you do at NFT NYC. I'll definitely be there. Like that's way closer than this, so.
Period.
I'm always gonna slide.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a great interview. I think you asked really pointed questions, and I love that you're highlighting a lot of Black creators. There's not a lot of shine on us, and it's cool to have somebody like looking out. So shout out to you, and shout out to Friends with Benefits for funding it.
Yeah, big facts. Shout out to the community. All right, my man. Well, thank you so much. I want to let people know where they can follow you. I guess this is the camera.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, Pastel ETH. Warpcast is at Leo Pastel. Or I've just been telling people you can just Google me and all my like music links will be on there. So yeah.
Get those Google Analytics up. You heard it here.
Period.
We're saying booyah. 3,
Booyah.
2, 1.
Oh.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you at ETH Denver next year, and if not, hope to see you online sooner. All right,
y'all.
peace and blessings.
I'm pissed.